Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio, and we are live. Okay, let's take that down, get that up on out of here, and let's get up. Let's get a thumbnail up. Where is it? Okay, it's a nice one. It's a good one. Let's present that to you, nice and swiftly. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. I'll leave you to enjoy that as we get into the menu. I finally caught a live from the beginning. Aaron Daly up in the building. Yes, yes, yes. Good stuff. Okay, so let's get into the menu. We're looking at, well, you can see what the main topic is. It's Deontay Wilder. Has Deontay Wilder forsaken his master? Master Al Haymon. He's come out in an interview and he said some things which seem contrary to the teachings. His teachings from one Al Haymon seems contrary, seems disobedient. How can you be disobedient to the master? The prudent man up in the building. Okay, we're warming in. Smash that like button on your way in. So Deontay Wilder's been talking some things, and it looks like he's gone asunder. He's gone asunder. He's gone away from the flock. Trouble in paradise. We're about to dig in and find out. Okay, but first things first. Let's do the sound check. Just make sure that you can hear me loud and clear. Let's go ahead. Let's get on in. Let's get into that. And let's do the sound check. Let's make sure that you're hearing me loud and clear. Let's go. Let the sound check. Let's make sure that you're hearing me loud. But first things first. Let's do the sound check. Just make sure that you can hear me. That's acceptable. Loud and clear. That's acceptable. Two. Check two. Check one. Check two. Okay. Where are we? Let's get back to that. Let's come out to that. How many windows you got open? Okay, that's acceptable. Okay. Let's do this. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. Okay. So, as well as the Deontay Wilder episode, we're going to be looking, we got other topics to cover. We got Kell Brook secretly filmed. We got Joe Joyce, who's supposed to be fighting Zilly Zhang, or has that changed? We're going to be looking into that. We got Joseph Parker allegedly fighting Michael Hunter. I glimpsed that headline. We're going to be looking into that. And what does it say? What does it say here? Canelo. Can't read my own writing. Canelo changed his mind. You don't want it. You don't want Bivol anymore. I think I glimpsed that headline. So we're going to have to get into that too. What's going on here? What's going on? What's going on? People filing in. Come on in. Get comfortable. Well, a whole heap of things to talk about. We're talking about, Let's get the banner in order as people file in an orderly fashion, so people know what we're talking about. Okay. There it is. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Where is it? Where is that? Well, that gets paid late. It's a shocker that he gets paid at all. Bruce Gas Boxing, Jazz and more up in the building. You know what we're talking about. We're talking about Deontay Wilder distancing himself from Al Haymon and the PBC, ? Exposé. And we've got a bunch of other things, but let's get into this right now. Got a bunch of samples that we're going to be getting through. Let's cue the first one up. And if you hear me in the background sipping on something, you know, I don't often have chocolate. But I got a piece of chocolate today. And, you know, I like to melt that. I like to drop it in a coffee. And it melts beautifully in a coffee, and it's like a hot chocolate stroke coffee. It's a coffee chocolate. I don't know. Has that been invented? And for somebody who takes their coffee black, no sugar, no cream, it tastes quite stupendous. It's quite enjoyable. So if you're hearing it sipping in the background, you have to accept my humble apology. Let's line this thing up. Let's find it. Okay. Let's line the first one up. Where is it? Okay. Yes.
When it comes to trimming.
Easy does it. Okay. We're there. Hold on. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Let's take the volume on that. Leon Figures up in the building. How do you do? It's going to be a controversial one. We're stepping into it. We're getting into it. And this will be the argument for suggesting that Deontay Wilder is distancing himself from Al Haymon and the PBC. You'll be the jury and you will decide. Okay. Let me know if you can't hear this. Okay, let's go.
And why we got another thing we're gonna change about these fights about getting this money. Stop getting this money when it's over. You gotta pay me after the time the fight is over with. That's what everybody gotta get to too.
You've got to pay me by the time the fight is over with. Yeah, let's get this money. We don't want it a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, a month later. I want that money straight away.
Another thing we're gonna change about these fights about getting this money. Stop getting this money when it's over. You gotta pay me after the time the fight is over with. That's what everybody gotta get to too.
You gotta pay me by the time the fight is over with.
Waiting and all that. Because any other business shit, after the job done, we want your money.
Because in any other business, when the job is done, you want your money. Pay me straight away, same day.
We didn't want to wait no month or 2 weeks or 3. We need it now.
We don't want to wait 1 month, 2 months, 3 weeks. We want it now.
That's another thing that needs to be changed.
That's another thing that needs to be changed.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that need to be changed, but I am that voice.
There's a lot of things that need to be changed. Remember, Deontay Wilder fights under the PBC banner. So all these things, he's talking about his own company. Well, it's not his company, but the banner under which he fights. So it says the money delivery needs to be faster. That needs to be changed. Once it's same day. Then goes on here to say there's a lot of things that need to be changed. Anyway, back to Deontay.
You're going to change it one at a time.
Because what they can do to me, stop me from fighting. I don't need the money. I don't need fighting no more.
What are you going to do to me? Stop me from fighting? I don't need the money. I don't need fighting no more.
Boxing needs you, though.
You feel me? Yep. All the way through. So when you're in that position, what they going to do? Shut up and listen.
So when you're in that position, what are they going to do? A man like me, boxing needs me. What are they going to do? They're going to shut up and listen. OMG.
That's just what it is. Because I ain't going to be here long. Right?
It's just what it is. Because I ain't going to be here long.
What they going to do? We just going to ride it out. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to start it out to somebody else that's going to do it. Listen, that's is in it.
So let me ask you this.
That is in it. That's something, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to spark it off to them.
So what I'm going to do, what am I going to do? I'm going to spark it off. I'm going to spark it off and let somebody else carry it through. I'm going to spark it off to them.
And they're going to spark it.
Start the snowball and let it roll down the hill.
And then you're going to figure it out because I care so much about fighters, period. No matter what, period. And when you look around and you see...
I care so much about fighters, period. When you look around...
See, man, we've been mistreated.
We have been mistreated.
Done wrong.
We've been done wrong.
For years upon years since the history of this thing, and I'm sick of it.
For years upon years, we've been mistreated and done wrong, and I'm sick of it. These are very strong words from Deontay Wilder. Remember, he fights under the PBC banner. And I think he's only ever fought under their banner apart from, I think he was with Golden Boy for a spell. For a time, but the bulk of his career has been fighting under the PBC banner. So these are very, very strong words.
I'm sick of seeing fighters not having this. I'm sick of seeing going to the Hall of Fame, seeing old fighters slurring and shit. That shit's sad, bro.
Sick of going to the Hall of Fame fighters and seeing all fighters slurring. That shizzle is sad, bro.
Especially if you're not looking as a fighter, as a champion, man, you get all your bruises and shit when you in your career. When it's outside your career, you're supposed to be looking like me right now today.
Sexy to watch.
You understand
Look
me?
at that. And
This is what
sunglasses.
you're supposed to look
Yeah, you should be looking sharp. You should take your bruises inside your career. Outside of your career, you should be looking sharp. Diamond bezel watch and whatnot. Let us proceed.
You can't even support your kids. I don't want the fame and the notoriety of what I did. Give me my finances. Don't steal from me.
Give me my finance. Don't steal from me.
Notoriety of what I did. Give me my finances. Don't steal from me. Treat me right. Give me benefits.
Yep.
Treat me right. Give me benefits.
Treat this like a real sport if y'all want to call it. Because if you're going to call it that, give us the benefit. If not, then continue as a business and tell the truth about it.
Yeah, if it's supposed to be a sport, then it's treated like a sport. If not, then just call it a business. Strong words.
This is what I am.
Okay, where off the subject?
That's just where I am with it. Very, very powerful work. Very, very powerful words from Deontay Wilder. How is Al Haymon going to take this? Because, like I say, he's been with Al Haymon for the bulk of his career. Okay? We got some more words from Deontay Wilder. He had a lot to say. But first things first, let me get the poll up. What is this? No, that's not that. Let me get the poll up. Can I get a witness? Anti-PBC. Okay. So are Deontay's words anti-PBC? Yay, nay. Boom. That's the poll. Very, very simple. Are Deontay's words anti-PBC? Very simple. Very straightforward. PBC, pro, broke circus. OMG. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Harsh words. The wizard slaves. Okay. So let us continue into this thing. Where we at now? Okay. Let's line this up. That's what Maury's saying.
Spencer Crawford, who do you like?
Oh, that's a whole different subject. Spencer or Crawford, who do you like? Of course, you want Spence. It's PBC. PBC stablemate. How long will he be with the PBC? How long will he be with the PBC?
Been done. It's unheard of.
Crazy.
Are you fighting guys that are married?
I'm going monster. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
In the boxing to help your daughter. How's she doing right now?
Oh man, she's beautiful.
Okay, so he's asked about his daughter. How's she doing right now? Wilder says she's awesome. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. She's about to turn 18.
Wow.
She's about to turn 18.
Really?
Child support, man. Shit.
Hey,
And I'm coming off child support. OMG.
Amazing.
She's about to turn 18.
Wow, really?
Child support, man. Shit.
18 already? Wow.
Yes. Child support, man. What? Bro.
You have a party, child support. Coming off their child support payments. Don't get twisted. Takes care of his kids. Sure, she'll be getting a college paid for, etc., etc. Get a first car if she hasn't got it already, etc., etc. Wedding and all that. But the child support going to the mom, going to the baby mama, that's all over. You can have a little party for that.
I'm child support, bro, man. Oh, what a man with a man with a mighty good man.
OMG. I fear. A second, let me just adjust. I fear Haymon has their funds tied up legally. They'll be waiting a long time to see their funds, if ever. OMG. Writes Leon Figures. Donovan Williams up in the building. How do you do? Okay, so the poll is there. Where is it? The poll is there. Are Deontay's words anti-PBC? Okay. So keep them coming. Keep the responses coming. Let's get into some more of the words of Deontay Wilder. I think that's the main piece. That's the main anti-PBC piece. But we do have more comments. Let's have a look at this one. DWMTA. Okay, that's a good one. Damn, son. Let's line this up. DWMTA. Oh, that's pretty much straight away. Okay. Let's get the volume up on that. Place the mic. And go.
And he's a good fighter, though. I like his speed.
Talking about Andy Ruiz. Fighting Andy Ruiz. Let's go.
I like his willingness and his bravery, but
I like his speed, willingness, and bravery. But
it's not gonna be enough for me, though. He's gonna have to have the extra recipe on top of it. Everything he got named, he's gonna have to put some more on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I am the man. I am that man.
I am the man. I am that man.
You understand? And with me, you're going to have to need extra help.
Uh-oh. Don't know if you caught that. But Deontay Wilder just said with me, he's going to have extra help. He's talking about Andreas the Punch Ruiz needing extra help, if you know what I mean. Extra help.
And I ain't talking about your filters, just you by yourself. Get that extra help. Get that extra help. Y'all believe in that.
Get that extra help. Get that extra help. Y'all believe in that.
Choo-choo.
Hopefully.
Choo-choo. That ain't gonna go nowhere in the sport. That ain't gonna go nowhere.
He's saying that PEDs ain't going anywhere. They're around to stay. They're here to stay. OMG. Let's move it along.
Another thing, why we got another thing we're gonna change about these fights, about getting
Yeah, why?
this money.
Yeah, that's another thing we're going to change about getting this money.
Stop getting this money when it's over. You gotta pay me after the time the fight is over with.
By the time the fight is over with, I want to get paid.
That's what everybody gotta get to too. Waiting and all that. Cause any other business shit after the job done, we want your money.
Any other business after the job is done, you want your money.
We didn't want to wait no month or 2 weeks or 3. We need it now.
We need it now.
That's another thing that needs to be changed.
That's another thing that needs to be changed. Okay. Okay. So we got through that one. Going through all the samples, everything that I saved to share with you. So let's keep it moving. Haymon, the money expert, other people as well. I don't know if you're a money expert when you lost all that money that he lost. You know what I mean? How much they give him? With 700 million. How much he got left? Should have been building on that. That should have accumulated. That was the seed money. That was the investment money. That should have accumulated. That you should have doubled that. Where is it? Where the money gone? Is he broke? Al Haymon broke? I doubt it. No way, no how. But he's not funding the fights, though. He's not funding the fights. Look at the cats in the thumbnail. Charlo hasn't fought in how long? Well, over a year. It's preposterous. What am I looking for? Oh, yeah, that one. Okay. This is going to be the last sample from the interview. Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's powerful words. Haymon might have those funds hidden in the Cayman Bank. Hey, there's nothing wrong with his money. Trust me on that. He's been taking cuts all the way through. Consultancy fees, that would have come off top. Because you're always going to pay yourself first. You'll be sitting in a big chair. And it's other people's money. If it's your money, nah, maybe not. But if it's other people's money, you're definitely paying yourself first. Okay.
We got to look at everything I've done in this sport, before this sport.
You got to look at everything I've done in this sport and for this sport.
You know what I'm saying? When I stood up, many people still stood down.
When I stood up, many people stood down. This cat's a poet. I'm telling you.
You understand me? When I spoke out, they just listened. Correct.
When I spoke out, they just listened. Write this down, cats. Write this down. This is poetry. And I mean it. This is good. This is good oratory. This is good oratory. It has spells of good oratory skills. When I stood up, they stood down. When I spoke, they listened. Come on, we're gonna have to hold and pull that one back. Come on now.
We gotta look at everything I've done in this sport, before this sport. You know what I'm saying? When I stood up, many people still stood down.
Dang.
Understand me? When I spoke out, they just listened. Correct. They didn't agree with me. They may agree with certain things, but it was against me. So they can get brownie points or whatever.
They were against me so they could get brownie points. OMG. Who was giving out the brownie points though?
But then when the other side, when they got their players in, when they got their players in and used your ass, I didn't want you no more either. So you were left high and dry.
Damn, I didn't want your ass either. You use your ass, but I didn't want your ass either. So you was left high and dry. Yeah, great moments of archery, and then he loses it. It all comes crumbling down like a castle made of sand. OMG.
Nightwalker.
That's true.
Nightwalker.
But look, everything I was doing and stuff like that,
Everything that I've done. Everything that I've done.
Stand for and all that. Got a statue, multi-millionaire.
Got a statue, multi-millionaire.
I don't need boxing anymore.
I don't need boxing anymore.
Belts,
It needs me.
medals.
Boxing needs me.
I don't need the belts to bring people. It's for my ability and talent.
I don't need the belts to bring people in. It's my ability, and they come from my ability and talent.
All this shit around, but it's beautiful.
But it's beautiful.
My life is beautiful, bro.
My life is my life in the sunshine.
And just to be able to accomplish so much.
Being able to accomplish so much.
And do at this point in time, like it's just amazing feeling, but I'm not done.
It's an amazing feeling, but I am not done.
I want to see other fighters be able to.
Does it enjoy it?
I want to see other fighters be able to come up and, yeah.
They go through a lot of little things, but they don't come out and say it. Because it's a man duty. You know what I mean? But that's one thing I want to see healthcare.
Oh, talking about healthcare, that's one thing I want to see. I want to see healthcare.
I want to see them be able to have something after it's over with, and not just promoters and managers.
I want to see them have something, not just the promoters and managers with the multi-million houses.
And fighters, all we get is a pat on the back when it's over. That was a bad motherfucker.
And the fighters, all they get is a pat on the back and not say that was a bad mother.
In his day, he was a bad motherfucker. Well, he don't have nothing to show.
No, except
We don't have nothing to show for it.
damage, vision, problem, headaches.
Yep. You gotta charge people for money to take a fucking picture.
Sure.
You gotta ask for a meal. You gotta charge people money just to take a picture.
That's sad. But
Sad.
you want to just pat me on my back and tell me what I did
You want to pat me on my back and tell me what I did?
in my career? Tell you shit. While you
That ain't ish.
still living and your children going to college and going so forth, you get to pay for big weddings. Y'all living in multi-mansion, driving in Rolls,
You
mother.
living in multi-mansion, driving in Rolls, mother.
Fuck Rolls. My car selection.
Royces.
And
My car of selection. I think you meant to say my car of choice. But hey, let's not sweat the small stuff. Let's not sweat the small stuff. That's strong words. Coming from the Deontay. Strong words from the Deontay. Fight doctor up in the building. And fight doctor, it looks like your boy there. Looks like your boy there has turned his back of the teachings of the principles of Reverend Al Haymon. Looks like Deontay Wilder's had enough. Wants to get paid the same day. Wants health care for the fighters. Wants insurance after they've retired, so they don't have to beg for a meal. He's saying all of these things whilst fighting under the banner of the PBC. Many thought the day would never come. Many people still, perhaps up until this point, had not heard the interview in question. But hopefully now the masses will be aware. This will start a conversation about what certainly appears to be a momentous and monumental shift in the consciousness of one Deontay Marcellus Wilder. I don't think it's Marcellus though. That's his brother. It's something like that. Aurelius, something like that. Anyway, in comes the man like, is he soaking his mushrooms? I think he might be dunking his mushrooms as we speak. Is he there?
Only the top shelf, my friend. Only the top shelf.
Okay, introduce yourself to the people.
Fight Doctor's in the house on Rick James status, as always. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, the Fight Doctor.
I have a message for you.
Wow. Is it from a lady?
Not this time. No, sir. Unfortunately, no.
Oh dear. Okay.
So, H Money, he asked me to ask you to come spend some time on his channel whenever you have time.
I most certainly owe him some time on his panel, and I certainly shall go and visit him. I don't know if he's on American time. He's doing his stuff a little bit later, but I'll certainly keep an eye out for something if it's within my time range. So most certainly.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where he is in the U.S., but I want to say he's on Eastern time.
Eastern time, okay.
But I'm not 100%.
Okay, well, I'll go and check it out, see what's happening over there. I certainly owe him a visit. Okay, so historical and monumental words coming from Deontay Wilder. Looks like he stopped singing from the hymn book. He stopped singing from the Reverend Al Haymon hymn book. How you like that, the Fight Doctor?
So I think he's at a point in his career where he's looking to maximize his earning potential every time out. And, I guess right now, the biggest fight that Deontay Wilder could make, I think the fight that makes him the most money at this point is Anthony Joshua. And maybe perhaps, Uncle Al doesn't want to make that fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, a few years back, the situation was different for Deontay Wilder, where maybe perhaps he had more time or he had a more, incentive to follow, wherever Uncle Al would lead.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, it's like, okay, dude, I'm looking at the end. I got 2-3 more fights left. I don't need to be wasting my time fighting the likes of Andy Ruiz. Not to say that Andy Ruiz is not a good fighter, and not to say that Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz is not a good fight. It is. But if I'm Deontay Wilder, I'm asking a question like, is that fight the best option for my pocketbook?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's not,
looks like Russian forces have taken over Chicago. Russian invasion forces have taken out the power lines in Chicago, the Windy City. You heard it here first. The Fight Doctor is inaudible. I think he's going to have to log off and log back in again because we can't hear you. We can't hear the Fight Doctor. It's either that, if it's not the Russian forces, he's come up against a giant unruly mushroom. Fight Doctor is struggling in the kitchen as we speak with an unruly mushroom. Oh MJ. You have to let the fight doctor come on back in. And if you're just joining us, we're asking the question, is Deontay Wilder distancing himself from Al Haymon and the PBC? And you've heard the words of Deontay Wilder sampled from an interview he did recently. And to me, sounds like Deontay Wilder is distancing himself from Reverend Al and the PBC congregation. I think we have the fight doctor back.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm having some network issues over here, but I think hopefully I got them resolved.
Okie dokie. You were saying.
Yeah, so boxing is a business, and I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure out that Deontay Wilder's time left in the sport of boxing is short. So, he needs to be thinking about, what can I do right now to maximize my income potential? Because I'm not going to be around, too much longer.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I think the biggest fight that could be made right now for Deontay Wilder most likely is the Anthony Joshua fight. So, if that fight is out there to be made, and if Uncle Al is getting in the way, well, maybe perhaps Deontay Wilder needs to do what he needs to do and circumvent Uncle Al and go make that money.
Well, I seem to have missed. Now you mentioned that, I seem to have missed a particular soundbite where Deontay Wilder says, you'll go out there and I'll make that fight myself. That should have been one of the exhibits. Forgot about it. Forgot that I even heard him say it. So I didn't clip it. But maybe I'll have to clip that. Maybe I'll make a video specifically on that topic, specifically from that clip where Deontay Wilder says, very openly, that, we know people. Damn, I know where that clip is as well. I know where it is. We know people around the world, If it takes me to go out there and make a fight myself, I'll make that fight myself. So once again, that's Deontay Wilder going away from the hymn book. That's Deontay Wilder singing from his own hymn sheet. That isn't the Reverend Al Haymon's normal ceremony, not at all.
So has Anthony Joshua actually signed to fight the guy who just lost to Dillian White? Is that fight official, or is that fight still in negotiation?
I don't know if it's. I don't know if that fight's official. It has been spoken of, but as of yet, that fight has not been announced. It's been spoken about, but not announced. Do you have an issue with that fight?
Well, I mean, yes and no. But I would like to see Anthony Joshua fight a guy coming off of a win as opposed to a guy coming off of a loss. But, I have no problem giving Joshua a bye, seeing that he's coming off a loss.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, a confidence-boosting type of showcase fight isn't a bad idea, given the situation. So, I don't particularly have a problem with it, given the circumstances. I think maybe perhaps they could have picked someone better.
All right, cool.
I don't fight Dillian White. Okay?
Well, that's coming later.
But it is what it is, and
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I'm just curious to see what form Anthony Joshua will be in for his next fight.
Well, that remains to be seen. It's going to be interesting for everybody. But right about now, looks like Deontay Wilder is distancing himself. What does the poll say? Right about now, are Deontay's words anti-PBC? 71% of respondents said yay. 29% of respondents said nay. And we'll be closing that poll down in approximately 3 minutes. So if you haven't voted, please kindly do so. If you have not smashed that like button, but you're enjoying the show, please kindly do so. Smash it. Don't cost a penny. Smash the like button. Okay. So I think that's all the sound bites from Deontay Wilder. Expressing his thoughts, observations, his hopes for the future. He's not averse to setting up fights for himself. He's got the contacts. He knows how to do it. He wants to get paid the same day. He says, don't pay me 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month from now. Pay me on the same day. I want to get paid on the same day. He expressed happiness that his daughter is coming up to her 18th birthday, and that will mean that child support ends. OMG. Like I said before, I'm sure he's going to sort out the university fees, etc. Get a first car, etc. The support don't stop, but it just means they don't have to pay that particular baby mama no more.
I'm sure she's probably sick.
She's sick? Who's sick? The mother?
The mother of his 18-year-old. I'm sure she's sick.
Of course she's sick.
Yeah.
She certainly will be, you know.
The big fat paycheck is about to get cut off.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope she was a bit more sensible than 50 Cent's baby mama. It don't look like she saved a whole lot.
Oh well, that's her problem. Okay,
we're still living in a rented house. For damn it.
Yeah. So I'm sure that big fat paycheck afforded her a very nice lifestyle, and that's about to come to a screeching end, screeching halt.
Yeah, it's gonna be over. Deontay Wilder went on to say that he's done a lot for the sport. I want to get rid. Oh yeah, I want to get rid of the. Oh yeah. Spoke about Andy Ruiz. Said that he likes certain things about him, but implied that Andy Ruiz needs to jump on the juice and get some extra help if he wants to face him. OMG. Yeah. So I think we've condensed that into that part of the show, condensed it nicely.
Can I add something real quick?
Of course.
Yeah. So Andy Ruiz is a worthy challenger.
Yes.
You know, when you, at the very least, Andy Ruiz has a KO over Anthony Joshua. That single win is better than any single win on Wilder's resume. So, you know, Andy Ruiz is a worthy challenger, and I would actually like to see that fight. And you know, I think that if Deontay Wilder can't get an Anthony Joshua or someone else who would bring as much as what, you know, bring something to the table, which I honestly can't think of any other heavyweight who brings as much money to the table as Andy Ruiz, not named Anthony Joshua. I mean, who else is there for him to fight? Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, love him or hate him, Ruiz has a fan base. He's credible. You know, who else are you going to fight? And it's an in-house fight.
Yeah.
So it's easy to make.
Yeah.
So, you know, I would think that if Wilder can't get Anthony Joshua in the ring, well, you know, I can't see why you wouldn't want to take this fight.
Well, it looks like it's. He went on to say that it looks like they're just looking for a location now. So it looks like that fight's on, and why wouldn't it be on? It's a final eliminator. If Deontay Wilder beats Ruiz, then he'll be fighting either Alexander Usyk or Tyson Fury for the WBC title belt later in the year, presumably. So,
yeah, that would be a travesty.
Kindly explain.
I honestly have no interest in seeing another Wilder Tyson Fury fight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not going to unfold any differently. We've seen it 3 times. That chapter in boxing lore, in boxing history, we need to move on from that fight.
So you can't see Deontay Wilder emerging victorious from a Tyson Fury fight? Is that what you're telling me?
Not unless Tyson Fury just falls off a cliff. I mean, the only way I can see Deontay Wilder winning that fight is if Tyson Fury, by some, I don't know, let's just say that he would have gone on a cocaine binge the night before.
Right.
Then I could see maybe perhaps, and even then I'm not sure. So Wilder has a puncher's chance, but in my mind, his chances are slim and none, and Slim just left town.
Dang. Okay. So yeah, it makes no sense for Deontay Wilder not to fight Andres the Punch Ruiz. Well, there's an argument to say that it would make a lot of sense for him not to fight Ruiz, because if Fury beats Usyk, then Wilder meets the boogeyman again. And how embarrassing would it be for him to just say, "Nah, I don't want Fury"? Would it even be embarrassing, or would the boxing public just nod their head in appreciation of him understanding the reality of the situation? The fight doctor.
Well, I mean, so I think we have to look at, does that fight make financial sense? So let's just assume that a year from now, we've seen Fury Usyk, and Fury wins, and we've seen Wilder Ruiz, and Wilder has won.
Right.
The logical fight, in my mind, for Tyson Fury at that point would be Anthony Joshua, because we've never seen that fight.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect that if Fury beats Usyk and Wilder beats Ruiz, that Fury will vacate the WBC belt and go fight Joshua if that fight is available. If not, then we'll probably see Wilder Fury 4.
Why would Fury need to vacate the WBC belt?
Well, I don't know that he would need to, but I mean, we're talking about the WBC, so anything is possible. And
They just say, I want to fight Joshua, and they would say, yeah.
Well,
As a volunteer.
True, but the question is, would Fury at that point have an option? Because I mean, the Usyk fight would be considered a voluntary. At some point he would need to make it mandatory.
Yeah, but this is the WBC. Deontay Wilder didn't have a mandatory for years. It's a WBC. It's whatever brings the money in.
We're talking about the WBC, and anything is possible. Now, I can see a situation where the WBC could make Wilder wait, which would be fair. We've seen the fight 3 times already.
Yeah.
And if Wilder were somehow made the WBC mandatory, I don't see why we would need to see that fight ahead of a Anthony Joshua fight. If Fury beats Usyk.
They could make him wait 2 years, no problem. I've done it before.
Yeah, I would have no problem with that. No problem at all.
No problem.
But again, we're talking about the WBC. Anything is possible. So I don't know.
Anything's possible, man. If it makes them them few bucks, hey, it's on the table. I almost forgot. And Deontay Wilder did make a good point. He made several points, some of them more interesting than others. One that fell into the interesting category, I think I liked it. Wilder said, "What about this? The commission getting paid? Sanctioning bodies. What about the sanctioning bodies getting paid? They say that money goes to charity. How about they put that money towards fighters' health care after they retire? How about that? I like the idea. I did like the idea. I thought that was a sensible suggestion. I liked it. So what was the last point we just said? Okay, yeah. So Fury fighting Joshua, and Wilder. I don't know who the hell Wilder would be fighting after he fought Ruiz. I'm sure they dig up some corpse Wilder from somewhere.
Well, they've got some up and coming heavyweights over at the PBC. They got the Cuban guy whose name's Sanchez. He's out there.
They're not going to put him in with Wilder.
Well, I think that would probably be smart because I don't know that Wilder would actually win that fight.
Me neither. I don't know. They're not going to put him in. Oh, Jared Anderson's with Top Rank.
Anderson is with Top Rank, so we probably won't get to see that fight.
Yeah. Maybe FA Jackpot. Yeah,
right. Didn't he just fight maybe about a month ago?
Yeah.
He won or did he lose? I don't remember.
He won.
I'm
talking about after Andrew Ruiz.
Right, exactly. Right.
Yeah, he won.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that they can dig up some PBC corpse for him to fight until, the Joshua and or the Fury fight can be made.
Yeah, hell yeah. They've done it before. How many times? 38 times? 36 times? Something like that. They've done it before. They ain't no stranger to digging up a corpse, a warm corpse for Deontay Wilder. So it looks like one of the Charlos they haven't fought for like 500 days.
Charlo the Elder.
Yeah, Charlo the
160
Elder.
Charlo.
The 160 Charlo. They fought for something like 500 days. Tank Davis, I almost called him Tank Abbott. He's left. Pretty Boy Floyd Promotions. So he's gone from the PBC, I think it's fair to say.
So Tank is actually still fighting under the PBC. It's just that he's not, I guess, associated with Mayweather Promotions anymore.
Oh, okay. So he's still fighting under the PBC banner.
I believe so.
Well, it must be a fight-by-fight basis because I think, Floyd Bernard Hopkins, came out and congratulated Tank. So I think he's a free agent.
Maybe promotionally, but I think the way the deal works with Haymon is that you can get whoever you want to promote as long as I'm your
manager,
right? Advisor.
So,
right.
Yeah. Okay, but I think looks like Tank's kind of free, hopefully, to do business with whoever he so pleases.
Tank needs to fight somebody.
Yeah. So, it's been said that the reason Cats PBC fighters aren't getting plenty of fights is that Al Haymon can't afford to put them shows on and pay everyone.
I honestly can't speak to the reason why certain guys are not fighting, higher level opposition. I know that. Well, here's one thing that's very curious in my mind is that the 154 Charlo has fought all the names that he's needed to fight in his division.
Right.
Okay, except for maybe one guy whose name evades me at the moment, but I think he lost. There was a few years back, there was a big guy. There was a huge 54-pounder what was his name? Guy he came forward a lot.
Hurd.
Hurd. I
Yeah.
think that was him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Charlo didn't fight that guy, but I think the reason why is because he got beat by some guy who Charlo turned around and beat.
Yeah. Jameson, the Dominican cat. Yeah.
Yeah. So Charlo is pretty much beating everyone he's needed to beat at 54. I don't honestly see a particular need for the Zoo fight, other than the fact that Zoo is mandatory.
Yeah.
And if that fight gets made, I expect that Charlo's going to knock Zoo out and then move up to 160. Charlo, the elder, the one who's on hiatus.
Yeah.
If he comes back to boxing, I expect he'll come back as a 68 pounder. And then of course we have Spence, who has moved up to 54, not coming back to 47 in a shameful duck of Terrence Crawford.
Oh dear.
Shameful duck.
So hold on, it's confirmed that he's not going back down?
He's not. I don't know that Spence has come out and said that he's not going back to welterweight, but I can promise you, we will not see Spence at welterweight again. This is, in my mind, this is final.
Yeah.
He's going up to 54, and that's where he will be.
Yeah, why would he come down? Because he's already saying for years he's been big for the weight. So why would he go back up? Why would he go up and come back down?
It doesn't make any sense. Exactly.
No, it don't make no sense at all.
Yeah.
So if that's what happens, and it appears to be what's happening, then that is indeed a shameful duck. That's bad. That is bad. Let me have a look what's going on. Mute that. Okay. Let me close the poll.
So I actually didn't hear the soundbite from Deontay Wilder concerning his next move.
Well, there's a bunch of sound bites. There's a whole slew of them. It was over several interviews, so it was quite a task to play the sound bites there earlier on in the show. So when you go back and listen to them, you'll be able to catch them. Which one's this? I can dig out one soundbite for you. Let me see if I can find the most. What's this one? WSDW. Yeah, that's the one. Uh-oh. Let's line up. WSDW. What was that? Pay me the same day. What was that, 4? Okay. Let me dig this one out for you.
Another thing we're gonna change about these fighters, about getting his money. Stop getting his money when it's over. You gotta pay me after the time the fight is over with.
You gotta pay me by the time the fight is over with. Pay me on the same day. I couldn't be talking to anybody other than Uncle Al with that one.
That's what other fighters gotta get to too. Ways and all that. Because any other business shit, after the job done, you want your money.
Any other business after the job is done, you want your money. Pay me on the same day.
We ain't want to wait no month or 2 weeks or 3. We need it now. That's another thing that needs to be changed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that need to be changed, but I am that voice. I am.
A lot of things that need to be changed, but I am that voice.
You're going to change it one at a time.
Because what they can do to me, stop me from fighting. I don't need the money. I don't need the money. I don't need to be fighting anymore.
Boxing needs you, though.
You feel me?
Yep.
All the way through. So when you in that position, what they gonna do? Shut up and listen.
When you're in that position, all they can do is shut up and listen.
That's just what it is. Because I ain't gonna be here long. I ain't
gonna be here long.
You know what they gonna do? We just gonna ride it out. But what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start it off to somebody else.
I'm gonna start the spark with somebody else.
And they're gonna spark it.
Start the snowball.
They're gonna spark with somebody else. They're gonna spark with somebody else.
And let it roll down the hill.
And then you're gonna figure it out because I care so much about fighters, period.
I care so much about fighters, period.
No matter what, period. And when you look around and you see, man, we've been mistreated, we've been done wrong.
We've been mistreated. We've been done wrong.
For years upon years since the
For years upon years, we've been mistreated. We've been done wrong.
this thing, and I'm sick of it.
And I'm sick of it.
I'm sick of seeing fighters not having that. I'm sick of seeing going to the Hall of Fame saying old fighters slurring and shit. That shit's
Sick of going to the Hall of Fame and seeing old fighters slurring and ish.
sad, bro.
Ish is sad.
That shit, you're not looking as a fighter, as a champion. Man, you get all your bruises and shit when you in your career. When it's outside of your career, you're gonna be looking like me right now.
You get all your bruises inside the career. When you're outside of the career, you're supposed to be looking like me, nice and fresh. Well, that was just one. That was just one of the clips.
You know, I was sitting here thinking, I would like to see Deontay Wilder fight in the UK. And just, you know, to absorb some of that energy and to be a part of that.
Should have took the chance years ago. Should have took it years ago. Should have took it years ago. But instead he went the Tyson Fury route. And look where that got him. Okay, it made him a multi-millionaire. He may have scraped $1 million here and $1 million there in his career prior to Fury. But when him and Fury defamed Joshua's name, tried to X him out, tried to say he wasn't the real champion, but Deontay Wilder was the real champion when they defamed his name and did that. Hey, financially, it worked out very well for both of them. It worked out very, very well.
Now, Rafi, you do realize, of course,
Hold on. Deontay Wilder went from scratching a mill here, a mill there. I think they inflated and said he was getting $5 million for Ortiz or whatever. Let's say after expenses he got 2.5. Then they had the first fight with Fury. He got about $4 or $5 million for that. Fury got $4 or $5 million for that. Well, less. Fury got less than it for the first fight. But then that built up the appetite for the second fight, and they really got paid. They got somewhere in the region of $28 million for that. And then, even say after expenses and after taxes, each one of them walked away with half. That's still $14 million in the bank account. And then the third one did less well. So what? Let's say he got $15 million for that. So let's say after he's paid everybody, he walks away with 17.5. Well, he's still got a solid 25 mil minimum. 25 mil endorsements, 30 mil. Yeah, let's say he's sitting on 30 mil now. That's something they generated between the both of them. They made each other very, very rich without either of them fighting for undisputed. It was a masterstroke. It was a masterstroke in business. It was a masterstroke in audience manipulation. An absolute masterstroke. So they did well. So you have to say to yourself, well, was it a mistake for Deontay Wilder not fighting Anthony Joshua? Well, even if it was a mistake, I think that mistake is cushioned by tens of millions. And even if he could have made much more with Anthony Joshua, which I think he would have done, he's still okay. So that was good business from Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, financially. But he's got to look at it. Surely he's got to look at it sometimes and say, hold on a second. I turned down fighting for undisputed to have Tyson Fury in my life for the better part of 3 years. When I could have lost one belt, yes. But I could have gained 3. I could have been undisputed. So, okay, they fought for the money and they got their money. But unfortunately, if he's honest with himself, you'll know he could have got more money and fought for legacy with Anthony Joshua. So it's one of them situations where you drop $50, but you find $100. What do? Do you mourn the $50 that you dropped and say, well, hold on a second. If I didn't drop the $50 now, it'd be 100, and now I'd have 150. Or do you just say, well, yeah, I lost the $50, but I found 100 and just forget about the 50 that you lost? It's one of them situations.
You do realize, of course, that at no point has Anthony Joshua ever been the real champion at heavyweight.
Well, what I do realize is that Anthony Joshua has been two-time unified champion, whilst Deontay Wilder was only sitting on a WBC belt, and Tyson Fury is only sitting on a WBC belt. So that's what I realize.
You do realize, of course, that in terms of legacy, the Tyson Fury fight carries much more weight than an Anthony Joshua fight for Deontay Wilder. You do realize this, of course, right?
Absolutely not, because if Deontay Wilder had beat Anthony Joshua, he would be crowned, anointed, undisputed heavyweight of the world.
Had Deontay Wilder beaten Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder would have been crowned the undisputed champion of paper.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yes.
You'd have been all over. You'd have been all over your media. You would have been all over the world boxing media as the undisputed heavyweight champion. That's what.
Yes, the undisputed heavyweight champion of paper. I agree with you.
No,
yes.
Of the world. Of the
world of paper, yes.
Well, the belts aren't made of paper, so he would have those belts.
You're right. The belts are not made of paper, but whatever title he could have lifted from Anthony Joshua would have been made of paper.
Well, not at all.
No, of course.
They're legitimate. They're legitimate titles.
Legitimate titles.
Every bit as legitimate. More legitimate than Tyson Fury's win over Vladimir Klitschko.
And how was that, seeing that Fury beat Klitschko first?
Well, it would due to the fact that Fury should not have been in the ring with Klitschko, because in his previous fight he had failed a drug test. Klitschko was unaware of that. The media in general was unaware of that, and it was on that basis that Tyson Fury was granted an audience with Klitschko, without Klitschko knowing that Tyson Fury should have been serving a suspension for a drug failure.
So let me ask this question.
So to be clear, what I just said was that Tyson Fury should not have been in the ring against Klitschko because he had failed drug test in his previous fight against Christian Haymon, and the Christian Haymon fight should be ruled a no contest, and the Klitschko fight should be ruled a no contest. Well, the Klitschko fight shouldn't have happened.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Going into the Klitschko-Joshua fight, exactly who was the heavyweight champion of the world?
Well, there was different heavyweight champions of the world. Wilder was the WBC champion, and I don't know if hold on. Oh, that was Anthony. Who was it? Anthony Joshua? Anthony Joshua had the other belts. Yeah, Anthony Joshua had a couple of the other belts, and I think the IBF belt was still up for grabs, something like that. Why'd you ask?
Okay, so who was the heavyweight champion going into the Klitschko-Joshua fight?
There was a couple. There was Deontay Wilder and there was Anthony Joshua.
All right, so you do realize, of course, there's only one world, correct?
We're not going to have this silly conversation again.
It's simple mathematics, my friend. It's simple.
There's only one world.
There's only one world. Therefore, there can only be one world champion.
No, not at all. That's a load of rubbish, because you have different sanctioning bodies.
The sanctioning bodies don't get to determine who is not the world champion.
Yes,
remember.
They do.
Oh, yes, really? Okay, so then let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you know who Jack Johnson is?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you consider or do you recognize Jack Johnson as having been the heavyweight champion of the world?
Yes, I think he was the heavyweight champion of the world at one time. Yes.
Okay. So when Jack Johnson was the heavyweight champion, where was the WBC?
Where was the
WBA? Where was the Where was the IBF? Where was the WBO?
You tell me. Where were they?
They didn't exist.
Okay. And now they do. So carry on.
But they didn't exist.
Okay, but now they do. Carry on.
All right. So Jack Johnson proves that the sanctioning organizations do not determine who is not the heavyweight champion. They don't.
Well, winning their belt determines if you're their champion. Yes.
Winning determines if you are their champion.
Yes.
But winning a belt does not make you a world champion. It makes you a champion of their organization. There's a difference.
Yes, it makes you their world champion. Yes,
it makes you the champion of their organization.
Yes, it makes you the champion of their organization.
So does that make you the world champion?
If the belt is for the world champion, then you are their world champion. When you become undisputed, that means you have all of the belts from all of the sanctioning bodies.
Okay, so you have all the belts from all the sanctioning bodies, but being undisputed does not make you the world champion.
So who is the world champion right now?
Tyson Fury.
Why?
Because he beat the man.
Who was the man?
Vladimir Klitschko.
Well, he shouldn't have been in the ring with the man. That should be a no contest.
Should have, would have, could have.
So he didn't beat the man. He should not have been in that ring. He should have been serving a drug.
Okay, but we don't live in the world of should have, could have, would have.
Well, that's the simple truth. He should have been serving a drug suspension, and that should be a no contest. Very simple.
Was he serving a drug suspension?
So he didn't beat the man.
What?
Never beat the man.
Was the fight sanctioned?
Yeah, by whom?
The BBBOFC.
Hold on. Was it? No, it wasn't. Because it wasn't in the UK. It was in Germany.
It was in Germany. Okay. Was the fight sanctioned by the Germans?
Yeah, I would imagine so. I would imagine.
Athletic Commission. Okay.
I would imagine so.
All right. And what was the result of that fight?
Well, it was ruled at the time that Tyson Fury won that fight. That was the ruling.
Has the result been changed?
The result should be no contest. It has not been officially changed as of yet, but watch this space.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If the result of that fight is ever changed to a no contest, we can revisit this conversation. But until that time, Tyson Fury beat the man.
Well, yeah, but we know that he shouldn't have been in the ring, so it's one of those, you know what I mean?
Okay, but we don't live in the ring of shouldn't have and couldn't have and wouldn't have.
It's one of those, you know what I'm saying? There was corruption involved, and so a man,
corruption is synonymous with the sport of boxing. Always has been.
A man got through via corruption, but hopefully justice is served and that this fight is ruled a no contest. We can only hope. Okay, so. What else do we need to get into, or do we need to get into anything else? I think this was neat and tidy. I like it. It was nice. It was concise. And what time is it? Yeah, I've still got an hour and 8 minutes before the hour of midnight. And I don't feel like I want to go into any other topics. This was nice and concise. I like it. I don't know if there's any other points to be made.
So I'm going to ask a favor of you.
Yes.
Let me know whenever you're going to hit up H Money so I can meet you over there.
Okay, I'll let you know by WhatsApp.
Cool.
Okay, cool. And the gang, final words from the fight doctor.
Yeah, I would like to see Deontay Wilder explore his options. Maximize his income potential, his earning potential, and make the biggest fight that's available for him. And if that's Andy Ruiz, and that's the fight I want to see. I would really want to see the Wilder Joshua fight so we can finally put to rest who knocks out who. My money is on Wilder. But
Wilder versus who?
Joshua. Nothing would please me more than to see Wilder, stretch Anthony Joshua, which is exactly what happens if that fight were to happen.
Wow. We'll definitely have to have a bet on that one.
No, most definitely.
Most definitely.
Big money. Big
Big
money.
money.
Big
Big
money.
money. Big money. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the fight doctor. Come to join us, come to share his thoughts and observations. Very kind of him. Okay, so where are we now? Where are we now? I think we've done it. We talked about, I think we've gone through this thing. Al Haymon got fronted like something like $700 million, something like that. After presenting the PBC model to a conglomerate of bankers. They obviously thought it was a great idea, pumped hundreds of millions into the idea. Unfortunately, Al Haymon didn't handle the money right. He was actually at some times paying broadcasters to broadcast his productions. Wasn't making the fights. Was trying to keep his thing in-house so he could keep belts to fulfill his TV contractual obligations for the amount of championship fights that he could provide. You know, when you keep everything in-house, when the borders are hermetically sealed, you're not optimizing your profit. Say you don't want to do business with others, then you lose fighters' opportunities. Eventually, you're seeing fighters stand up now. We've seen Bronner complain about the PBC model. We've heard Tank complain at certain points. And latterly, we're hearing Deontay Wilder with a slew of points pointing to dissatisfaction with the PBC model. Going as far as saying he can make his own fights. He don't need boxing. I'm rich, biatch. So, the question was, is Deontay Wilder distancing himself from Al Haymon and the PBC? And you, the audience, the jury, gave your answer. And it was 71% of respondents said yes, and 26% said no. So resoundingly, public opinion supports the suggestion that Deontay Wilder is distancing himself from Al Haymon and the PBC model. OMG. We're going to talk about the other stuff. Maybe I'll talk about the other stuff in videos over the next couple of days. But in the meantime, you have been in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi. Now, it's not Boxing Talk. This is Deontay Wilder distancing himself from Al Haymon and the PBC. Thank you all for coming. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button. If you enjoyed the show but you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Thank you to the Fight Doctor for jumping in and sharing his thoughts and observations. Mr. Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio. We are out. Look out for the videos. Blessed.